Now I'd like to talk about your spreader performance. Conditions maybe of a heavy left or a heavy right spread pattern. One of the things that's kind of difficult to understand is how the pattern diffuser works. When your hopper is open, you can pull the pattern adjust back, and you see these little teeth here. Depending on where this pattern adjust is, it will either drop the fertilizer close to the back of the impeller, or if you pull it here, it'll drop it closer to the center of the impeller. What that will do if it drops on the center of the impeller is as the impeller is spinning, it will stay on the blade a longer amount of time, throwing more to the right. If you have your diffuser at the front of your opening, now the fertilizer will fall closer to the outside of the impeller, and it'll have less blade to ride, so it will throw off quicker to your left. So all you're trying to do here is adjust a nice left-right pattern. 9 times out of 10, your pattern adjust won't be needed, and you will push it all the way in and just lock it in place, and it's out of the picture. When you are cleaning your machine, you do want to make sure that you keep these teeth clean, because they will build up with fertilizer, and as they build up with fertilizer, it will start to change your pattern. So use a bristle brush or something like that to clean the diffuser. And usually this needs to be done about as often as you scrape your impeller. The issue you can have with a heavy left or heavy right spread pattern is if my left half of my pattern is heavy, more fertilizer, and the right half is less. When I go down on the property and I turn around and come back, what's going to happen is you're going to spread your heavy over your heavy. When you turn to the right and you have your light side of your spread, you're spreading light over light, and typically that will give you those dark green, light green striping of the lawn. To better explain how the fertilizer is falling down through the hopper and landing, if it lands closest to the center of the impeller, it will stay on the paddle the longest amount of time, riding the entire blade. If it lands halfway out, it only has a short section of blade, which will make it come off quick to the right. So it's pretty basic, but that's how to adjust your left-right spread pattern. Build up on your impeller will also change your spread pattern left and right. So if you have a 1-inch putty knife or something similar, you definitely want to keep these scraped off. And again, if it's building up on your impeller, then you can be sure that it's building up on your diffuser, which that's where we use the brush from the top side to keep that diffuser cleaned off. When adjusting your spreader, there are numbers on your rate dial, and on other pieces of equipment, it will have a dial with either letters or numbers. But very important to keep in mind that one small click, open or close on that spreader, will make a big difference over 1,000 square feet of turf. So when you're adjusting your spreader, it's best to make fine adjustments to get it dialed in. There are a few ways to check your pattern adjust for heavy left, heavy right. A lot of people just do this by eye, how much product are they spreading to the left versus the right. If it looks good, it normally is. But to check that, a lot of people have used the cardboard box trick where you lay all the cardboard boxes out. You can weigh each box after spreading fertilizer on top of those to see how much product is left, how much product is right. There's also an easy method where you can use a large tarp or a piece of visqueen. All you're going to do there is lay this tarp out, spread onto the tarp, and then you will simply crease the center, weigh your left half and weigh your right half to see if your poundage comes out the same. If it does, then you've got the same amount of product left and right, and you're good to go. If you don't like the results of that pattern, just simply dump your fertilizer back into your hopper, change your pattern adjust, and try that over again.